All right, this is John Krasinski, Pittsburgh Soccer Now. We are with Chris Knauff, Mars boys head coach, and for the first time since 2016, I believe, Mars is in the WPIAL Class 3A final. They did it by beating South Fayette last night 3-1. They've also done it because they're undefeated. They're rolling through this very unique season, but a lot of credit to you, Chris, and your program. You guys always find a way to finish at the top of your section and to be right there in the mix every year. So I'm sure you're pretty excited about heading into the final.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you. Yeah, it's been a really exciting season. I'm really proud of our boys. They played really well. They worked really hard, really all season, but last night especially shined through. Just the amount of effort that they put on the field. So yeah, I'm really proud of them, and it's going to be fun on Thursday.
Yeah, I mean, what a great matchup. But just before we get into that, just maybe for some people out there who don't know your club that well, maybe kind of give us a quick synopsis of your senior leaders, some of the key contributors and players that we might want to look out for.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we've got a great senior class, and they're a hungry group because, over the past few years, like you said, we've been in the mix every year. In the past few years, I think that they had really high expectations, just because of the quality of team that we had, and just came up short. Ran into a really good West A team. Both times they knocked us out, and they were itching at this season. Trying to get back and improve from the last few years. So players like Dane Beller, who's been, a focal point of our offense for the last few years. He's played it as our highest forward, our number 9, since his sophomore year. He's now a senior. Tyler Nimburg, who is just a really dynamic player. He can play midfield, forward, kind of floats in and out of different spaces, works really hard. Nabil Lalu, who just is a attacking mid and a great passer, and an assist man, but has chipped in a bunch of goals this year as well. And then in the back, kind of building out of the back, Trent Wick is our captain, our center back, and really our leader in the back, vocal presence and organizer. And he's done really well. He has another senior beside him, Ryan Pascoe, who's been on our varsity team since he was a sophomore as well, and he's played really well on the outside. On his other side is a junior, Mason Meyer, who's really played well. And then I don't know, do you want me to just go through the whole lineup or just the seniors, or what do you think?
I mean,
I'm happy to talk about all my players. They just have to stop me.
Yeah, no, I mean, and I know how it is. Like, you can go on, and there's so many contributors. And one of the things that I think that is a testament to your program is your depth and your ability to each year to have those players, some of them that are with you from their freshman year, some that earn their stripes. But it just seems like every year you got to play Mars. It's going to be, I think you've given up 3 or 4 goals this year. It starts there, right down the middle and defensively organized, right?
Yeah, absolutely. That was a little bit going into this year. It was a little bit of a question mark defensively. I knew we had players, but just how they were going to gel and who was going to play where. This doesn't make the record, but we scrimmaged North Allegheny in our first scrimmage, and we got thumped pretty good by them. But at the time, we weren't sure who was playing where. We were, experimenting with different things. So that definitely helped us to figure things out. And that was a great experience. And,
You
you
didn't
know,
get an early season to do that, so that one preseason game, and then you were jumping right into the fire, right?
right, exactly. Yeah, we needed that. But, since that game, we learned as much as we could, and we found a system that works. And those guys have been awesome at just staying organized and getting numbers behind the ball. And we preach, especially with our midfield, defense first, and get back, get shape, get behind the ball, and the back 7 players really all work very, very hard defensively.
Yeah. So now you've got a challenge of, obviously, Franklin Regional. You said the last 2 years West Allegheny got in your way of getting to the final and taking on potentially Franklin Regional. So what are your thoughts about them? What have you seen from them? Obviously, we've covered them a bit. We've had them once, twice, and I've talked to Rand Hudson a couple of times. So I know, they're obviously a high quality club, and going for a three-peat, that's pretty unprecedented.
Yeah, it's actually amazing that we haven't played them before. We in all my last 15 years of coaching, and I know that they spent some time in a different classification than us, but I know that they're a good program, and you would just think that our paths would cross in a semifinal or quarterfinal or something. But I'm excited to get to play them. I know that they are a very, very good team. I've seen their games. I've watched them play live. Last year, and I've seen film on them. They're a very, very good team.
And like you said, you talked a lot about how it starts with the 7 in the back for you. I mean, is it really about what you guys, in terms of dictating the match, the tempo, the terms, and I mean, what's your approach in a match like this?
Well, I think this is going to be a really interesting game, because most of the teams that we play play a more direct style than Franklin Regional. They try to defend, and let's send it. Let's get some forwards into their offensive third quickly and put it over the top a lot. And Franklin Regional is more of a possession game, and that's our game as well. We like to knock the ball around. We like to build out of the back. We like to control possession in the midfield. So that'll be an interesting matchup. We haven't really, I would say, Hampton is a pretty solid possession team, but we haven't seen that too much this season. So it should be a good matchup.
Yeah, I was Eric Ingram had a quote the other day. It made me kind of chuckle, but obviously I've been around this north area for a long time and coached at the youth levels, high school, everything. But notice that you can go back 20 years ago, 15 years ago, and you drive down 228, and there's the Mars soccer complex in this field.
Yeah.
Like, you've got yourself a community there, and obviously the girls program as well. It's just the juggernaut. I mean, what is it about that area in soccer? What is it?
I don't know, but I grew up here. I played on those fields. Those were my fields growing up. So I've experienced it, but it's hard to put your finger on exactly why, the girls especially, but why the programs are successful. I just think, it just we just try to keep the snowball rolling, and year to year, I think players see the the players from before them and the success that they've had, and they want to always one up. And there's also healthy competition with the girls' side. The boys want to try to do as well as the girls, and I think it just kind of just feeds off of each other and just continues to build.
Yeah, and then just in terms of the North in 4A, I mean, you guys have always been there. At the 2A level, it kind of fluctuates a little more, but at the 4A level, it just seemed like the South kind of ruled the landscape for a long time, but it's obviously changed in the last few years. But the truth of the matter is, like I've always said, there's always good players up in that area, and I think that now you're starting to see a lot more depth in teams with, I think, having just deeper rosters.
Yeah, I mean, there's always just an ebb and flow of different programs will be good for a couple of years and it just swings the other way. I mean, that's just the way it goes. But yeah, I know, with Seneca Valley and North Allegheny and Butler and those top 4A teams, they've had great teams the last I don't even know how many years, but for a long time, when we love to get scrimmages and non-section games against those teams.
Yeah, and I think that it just helps build up the level of play in the area. So the more better teams you're around and playing with, I'm sure
Right.
that makes a difference. All right, well, it's heading into tomorrow night. Thursday night, matchup against Franklin Regional. You will be close to home, somewhat close to home. You'll be at North Allegheny. Any kind of last, what have you say to your players in these situations? Obviously, getting ready to play before you've won WPIAL titles, you've played in the finals numerous times, and I'm sure that there's a lot of excitement. But what do you say in that moment?
I mean, my pregame speech will really just be about sticking to the type of play that got us here and playing with confidence. I mean, I know my players have the ability. They're a great group of guys. They play together. They work hard. So it's just about, taking in the moment and playing confidently, and we'll go from there. So, we've preached about being unbreakable, mentally unbreakable all year. And so we always talk about, no matter what happens, we're not going to let the moment get the best of us. So we're going to figure out a way, and even if it's in a loss, it's just that you figure out a way to get the best soccer you can out of the team. And that's what we've been preaching and talking about all year.
Well, I'm very excited about that matchup and looking forward to seeing you guys take on Franklin Regional. I think it's going to be a great one. So Thursday night, I believe 8 p.m. at North Allegheny High School. So Chris, again, thanks for joining me and really, really appreciate your time and look forward to talking to you soon.
Yep, no problem. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Chris.
All right, take care.